Hi, my name is Jose Brito, but my nickname is Hochi, and I'm coming from Dominican Republic.
And you're the national.
I am the national partner for NCD DR.
Hi, my name is Laura Felipe. I also come from Dominican Republic, and we work together in the ministry that holds the national partner in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, okay. Hello, my name is Stephen Kim. I'm from South Korea. I've been serving as a national partner since 2008 in Korea.
Yeah, you probably know me, but Kjetil, Norway.
And Iceland.
Nice. Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. Hi, I'm Margit. I'm the national partner at Hungary, and I work with my husband, Gergő. We are here together.
And I'm Bill. I'm the national partner in Canada and have been also since 2008. And in 2023, I took over the national partnership from Lynn Jacuti in the UK. So I look after 2 countries.
Bill's greedy. He's after all the countries in the world. He's going to take over all of your partnerships eventually.
Because I don't procrastinate.
That's right. That's what the ESP process will ultimately do for you. You can answer one at a time, and again, you're free to answer whichever questions or pass on the questions. But the first question I'd like to ask is, what's the greatest joy that you have experienced in part of being a national partner in your national partner ministry? Anyone, yes?
Our greatest joy, we experience a lot of rejoice with NCD in a personal way for the ministry and for the churches that we are sharing or serving. So in 2 ways. For the ministry, we were a non-profit organization that we were developed communities for more than 20 years, and we saw many communities growing in economy and growing in some kind of develop, because we are talking about communities without water, without sanitary system, etc. So we were working hard and giving transformation, but we were all the time concerned about what the church do not involve in that. And when we met NCD, it changed our paradigm, because it was the tools that we use to connect with the churches and release the churches to the communities, because NCD help us to bring health for the churches, and for the churches, we are seeing during the last 23 years many churches growing in quality, especially serving people in the community and releasing their members in ministries of service. For example, the gift test is powerful for us. It's powerful for the churches. I don't know if you want to add something more.
the great joy of ministry is the church getting changed. That's what I see the moment of joy. So about 15 years ago, when I started consulting with some church, one church, and then senior pastor asking me about the evangelical program. So I explaining with my ideas, and then I set up kind of the starting program for the evangelical movement in his church. But he said, wow, that's great idea. Wow, I'm going to do it. But he didn't do it at all. Then, after 5 years later, and he asked me to come over his church, and then we have another meeting for the same idea. And that meeting is a little bit different because he said, hey, Pastor Kim, I have a big idea for the evangelism program, so please hear me out. And then he explaining everything about, which is I already told him 5 years ago. So that means he takes a time for internalization for his own ministry. So even though we give like a big idea or great, challenge for them, but they didn't, accept because it's not from their own heart. So it takes time. So after that, we have a small seminar and big seminar every, couple of months throughout South Korea. So I met a lot of different pastors. So I always challenging them, but I didn't expect they are going to change it right away. But I knew someday, someday. So that's the what I can say, that that's great joy of my life.
It's so many joys. I think it's a lot of small meetings with people and leaders and churches, but it's also when we take a step back and we analyze the numbers and see the scores, as Omund has done in Norway. We can see that this is working. Churches that have taken the profile steady in 25 years or 10 years, or they change culture. They become more Christ-like. They become every time they can get a higher quality on loving relationships or empowering leadership. They will bring some more light into this world, some more life, and I think I find it beautiful. Personally, I have a lot of contact with and training the NCD coaches to become NCD coaches, and I also find a lot of beautiful moments when people explore new visions of God and the church and their own ministry, and every time it's beautiful. It's God meets in the middle every time. Yeah.
You asked about the joys. I could share on two levels: our own personal life, how it transformed by the three-color compass and all it knowledge and teaching and so on, and we experience it in our life, and all of those lives who we speak about NCD and who get to know NCD. And then a bit similar is the other sphere, the life of the churches. when they see the complexity of NCD and how it can give them a mirror where they can recognize themselves and find points to hold on to step forward.
Two things for me. One, almost personal, is being able to see the church from a level that a lot of people don't get a chance to. I'm not suggesting I'm above the church, but being able to see across all the denominations is just so overwhelming sometimes. And maybe to see the church holistically and all the different things that all the different denominations bring. It's a beautiful thing. And I think the biggest joy is when the lights go on for some people. Like I went out just at the break, and someone was, wow, their hair was on fire. And that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you all. In some places of Christianity, there is a presentation that if you pursue the way of Jesus, everything will be wonderful and everything will be easy and everything will be no problems at all. But of course, Jesus himself said, in this world you will have trouble, but don't fear, I have overcome the world. And so we know in NCD ministry there are plenty of challenges. I'd like any of you to share what's one of the greatest challenges that you face in NCD ministry, and feel free to share. It could be at the end of getting churches involved in the process or working through the process, or even a personal level challenge that you experience as a result of engaging in this kind of ministry. You can go in a different order, I don't mind.
I'll start. My biggest challenge, because I've been at this a long time, is people get really involved in NCD and then they retire or they get transferred, the new person comes in and they stop doing NCD. It's not for us. We want to do something cool and new, and we're not cool or new. As Adam says,
speak for yourself.
Okay, you're all cool and new. But that just frustrates me to no end when there's proof that it works. And they will say they want growth both spiritually and numerically, and they have it, and they walk away from it. That makes me mental.
I'm Roman Catholic. We are Roman Catholics. And so probably for us, one of the biggest barriers is to make the churches, the big traditional churches, the Catholic, the Reformed, the Lutheran, to make them understand that they would need a mirror. And this mirror should be NCD. They start to see the problems, but they don't think that the problem is the church themselves. Everywhere are problems, but not in themselves. So one of our struggle is to make them understand that a mirror should be a nice thing to have. And then probably the other one, we are struggling to find the small enough amount of information about NCD. It's so complex and so new in Hungary, so they don't understand that we won't give them solutions, but principles. They don't understand what do we mean. So what is the minimum amount of information we have to give to make them understand and make them want to proceed, not to say, oh, thank you, we understand, we have already enough knowledge, we are done. Probably.
So in Dominican Republic, at the beginning, when we got to know about NCD, it was 2002. As we also didn't comprehend everything, we decided to start in the capital, where big churches are, and they closed the doors. Because we are already big, and we haven't done any of that. So why do we need that? And the Lord guided us to the rural places and churches, that they were already doing something, but with us understanding what the principles are. You know, this is not rules, these are principles. And wherever they work, they will give fruit. So struggles have been changing. That was the main struggle at the beginning. Like, where are the churches that want to work with this? Now, pastors refer to us, other pastors, and they come to us. And I'm answering 2 questions. Like, an amazing joy is to be able to meet pastors saying, now I am understanding what this is about. From now on, I'm going to be a pastor. Not between these walls, but outside. And now we have many struggles, like, for example, translating materials into Spanish. And yes. And also, ego. Like, bringing the pastors to that belief and certainty of that it's not about, it's about God and this energy. God will use you or will use any other, but he will do it. And that is like the main struggle. Once we get the church into the rails, then it flows, and they start to give up. But that's the main thing, you know.
I can relate to all of this which has been shared. So I'm just going to share something that I think it's special for I'm not sure if it's special, but it's typical for the Norwegian culture amongst churches, and that is what kind of leaders does the church have, and amongst the gifts in the Ephesians, I think the most pastors in Norway are herders and teachers. It's probably somewhere else it's similar, but we lack apostles. We lack people with visions of more than the group already at stage. So we struggle to communicate that God wants, has more in his thoughts for this place or this city than they are seeing themselves. And the consequence, I think, is that if you just are interested in your own group and you are not a vision, you don't have some visions, I think the natural thing is not to develop quality, but to lower it. I think if you do nothing, the quality will go down. The secularization process is always not horizontal, but it will go down if you don't do something to get it in another direction. So we need leaders to see that NCD can be the solution of the things they are struggling with. And yeah.
my biggest challenge is the senior pastors. Sometimes they look like enemy of NCD. Because they have a fear to get church survey. So they feel like a personal evaluation test. So I always encouraging them to, overcome the fear, what they, afraid of it. So sometimes I explaining with my story because I have some health problems, so because I have to go to the hospital every 3 or 4 months to get a test and get a result. And then after that, so it has been like 5 or 6 years now. And then whenever I went to the doctor's office and they show me the result, the blood test and including the CT or something like that, and then I have to, acknowledge by myself, and I have to aware by myself how healthy I am right now. So I have to be careful to eat, and I know I'm not a good exerciser. I mean, I'm not a good runner or walker, but I hate, actually, I really hate any athletics. So I'm totally not interested in watching the football right now. You know why? Because there's 11 people and another 11 people, they, keep running, 45 minutes and another 45 minutes, total 90 minutes. Whenever I watching the football game, then my heart is beating. So I'm exhausting. But I start walking as an exercise. So, yes, compared to the 60 years ago, so I'm very more healthier than before because of the periodical exam, the test. So I always explaining my story to the senior pastors. You can exam. You need to exam yourself. So that's my biggest challenge to the ministry with the NCD.
Thank you. Every good NCD partner and coach knows that all the quality characteristics are equally important, but truth be told, we all like certain ones more than the others. Yes. Yes. So, and as Michael hates small groups, there we are. He's saying it very directly. And it's important to understand that that's a very natural thing. It comes completely out of the energy paradigm because there are certain, Christian mentioned it, energemata, there are certain expressions of energy that mean that God is calling you to focus more on a certain area. And there's also been talked about that knowing, remembering all the pieces of NCD, Christian and I put together most of the tools we currently have, and people will say, oh, remember in this and that page you wrote this. It's like, oh, I've got no idea. Was it? I don't remember. Or the green term in the such and such test. And that's right, the green. And so even if you write it, it's very difficult to know. And it's never meant to be that way. We're meant to be operating in teams and more specifically according to the energy drive. So the question I want to ask you is, which of the quality characteristics makes your own heart beat faster and why?
I know the answer. the gift-based ministry. So I can do, I should do, I have to do what I can do with joy. It's great. And I don't have to do all the areas I don't have gift for. So it's liberating.
To me, needy-oriented evangelism, because that is the most wanted from the church, So because some of you, maybe most of you knew that the Korean church has been very getting revival before the COVID. Before the COVID, they growing up fast, especially 80s and 90s. So the only reason that they do the evangelize to neighbors, those around. So, and they still looking for the how to do with a effective evangelism to other people. So that's most demanding program than demanding the quality issues, character issues to me. So I conduct like a small seminar for the evangelism. So that is why I'm getting more into it. So I developed my own kind of tool to how to evangelize, starting with just simple prayer for those are our neighbors, even though they're not close enough. Just getting to know their names first, and then start with a prayer, and then become a friends. That's the next step, and then after that, you can introduce Jesus through you. Okay, not about him. Okay, through you, you can tell them Jesus in you. Without that, they're not understanding, why we are Christians. So, and then fourth thing is the street evangelism. There are a lot of, the churches still going out, just, shouting and just hand out the tracts, and then everything, they can do right now. But it looks very ineffective. But the thing that I found out, the reason that we need to go out for the outreach on the street, just going out for prayer for other people. Sometimes we pray with an empty chair, right? So please, Lord, this empty chair to be filled. Please send us someone who could sit with us and worship together on Sunday morning. So, but when we go out, we can see the people just walk around and then just crossing the street and they just, hang out with their kids, and then just, it doesn't matter, you should explaining with a small tract to the like a full spiritual law thing, you don't have to do that. Just watch and pray. Watch and pray. That's the main reason that we're going out for the street evangelism. So that's working very well. So,
if you'd like to receive the Lord Jesus Christ, please raise your hand in your chair right now. I see that hand.
For me, passionate spirituality is the big one for me. I love the 9 styles. I loved finding out what my style was and how I most naturally connect with God. And I love seeing the light bulbs go on when people start to see how they connect most with God. And then when Christian did the human Trinitarian compass and he had us walk across the compass, it was so revealing to me how diverse we are and how I can look across the compass and not see someone that I don't like. I might find them weird, but I can learn from them. I can cross over. And so it really, I think, and for me, everything starts with how you connect with God. So I have arguments with some of the people in my working group about which is the most important one. And my friend Frank says it starts at love. Loving relationships is the most important thing, and for him it is. But for me, it's passionate spirituality for sure.
I have some problems with this. I have a number that I have connected stronger to, and they are all already chosen. So it's the same thing that Bill had said. I think it's for me, but I also if we're working with people and we can release their gifts and place them in help them to be in the spot that God wants them to be. It's a really beautiful moment, and I want more of those. But when we talk about their belief and their relation to God, I find that the most inspiring things being working in that area is that when people experience that they don't need to have the spirituality they have always longed for. They can have their own. They don't need to copy their pastor. It's a huge burden down from their shoulder, and that's really, really beautiful for me. Yeah.
To me, they are all fascinating. Personally, evangelism, being able to respond to the need of someone, being able to hear someone respond saying like, are there any more Christians like you think in this way? Because the way is Jesus, but there are many ways to lead people to Jesus. And that opens like wide open the way I grew up thinking there was only one way to lead the people to the church and to Jesus. But in other way, it thrills me, leadership, enabling leadership. Because I personally, in my church, in one church that I was at the beginning, I was convinced that if the pastor doesn't want this, we as the youth can convince him. And I remember that my coach told me it doesn't work like that. The pastor has to be in front of the process. And I was like, no, he doesn't have to, because we can as youth convince him. Well, and we started doing NCD, and we crashed out. We crashed out because the pastor went like, no, this is my church, and you don't have enough experience, so you can do whatever you want here. And it was very sad. So having that experience showed me how important it is for pastors and leaders in front of the church to get to know that you are only one arrow, and that's it. You can even be removed from the diagram. That's it. So that as evangelism moves my heart, but leadership moves my head, you know. If we praise, we ask God for all of us to think in passing the torch. The torch. In my country, even in politics and everywhere, you see these huge leaders, but after them, the disaster, because no one receives the torch and continues. So we are only one arrow, and we have that great responsibility. God is going to do it, but it would be amazing if we contribute to enable leadership so it can continue.
For me, ministry according to the gift, because I grew up into the church and I suffered a lot because in the church that I grew up, everybody had to do everything. And everybody had to evangelize, everybody had to go to the jail or the prison, to the hospital, etc. And I did not find joys in some tasks. And I suffered because I was thinking, what happened with me? I don't like to serve the Lord. So when I understood that He gave me gift and prepared the job according to my gift, He prepared before job according to my gift for that I put in practice. It changed my thinking, and I understood that I am serving in the area that He wants that I serve. So for me, it was amazing, and I am so thankful for that.
Thank you all for sharing. That was wonderful. I hope you are all encouraged. Would you please express your appreciation for the panelists?